Hello, this is the third video I'm making for this series, Road to Solo Guitar, which I share some tips for playing fingerstyle acoustic guitar. And in the first two videos, I talked about the ideal guitar. And this is a continuation, and for today, I want to talk about strings and setting. And strings and setting are related to each other, and they are very sensitive. And first of all, strings. And people ask me sometimes, what's the best acoustic guitar strings to use? And it's very difficult to answer because even though you put the same strings on the different guitars, it feels different and it sounds different. And you can choose the strings from a brand, maker, and also materials, and more importantly, gauges, or I could say string tension, because gauges and tensions make your guitar action, basically the height of your strings to the fingerboard, give the impact. It makes it higher or lower depending on which gauges you use. So what I would suggest is, if you have one guitar, get a medium and light from the same string brand, and then put them, and you just experiment how you feel and how you can observe it, how the action changes. And then from there, okay, if you choose, okay, I'm gonna go with the medium, or I'm gonna go with the light, and you can set up the guitar. And if you set up the guitar, that also would change your string action. So they are very sensitive, each other, as I said. So to set up the guitar, acoustic guitar, and as you know, there's a nut, bridge saddle, and there's a truss rod throughout your fingerboard, your neck. And by adjusting these three nicely, you can set up the guitar. But I would suggest to bring the guitar to your luthier or repair guy, because some people do by themselves. I have tried, including me, but I failed it, and I ended up going to the repair guy, because it's sometimes you might feel, oh, I can do it, but it's it's not very easy. And most of the times, players like me, don't have the knowledge about this. And those repair guys spend lots of time with different guitars, and they have more experience. So I would suggest bring to the luthier. And when you bring your guitar to the luthier, they might ask you, what height do you want? Do you play around here, the open chord, or you go up higher position? And then, depending on what you said, they can set up the string height differently. But I would say, I know some people really like to have the string action lower as possible, because that's gonna be easier for them to play higher position. And I totally get it, and that's also important too. But don't go too low. And because, as I said in the first two videos, when you play solo acoustic guitar music, the sound quality coming from a guitar could be also a part of your performance, and its sound is a very important factor for your performance. And if you make your actions too low, the sound quality gets worse, and then the volume gets softer and softer. But don't go too high too, because if you go too high and if you have to play like the different positions, you have to really press it down, and you might feel another stress to play the guitar. You can't really focus on the music because you might feel, okay, I have to put, because otherwise it's gonna pass like this. You get tense. So it's a balance, and sometimes just let your repair guy do their work. Like whatever they think best, just let them do it. And then you might feel a little higher, but now the time to practice. Okay, if you feel too high, but if you really practice, and to do that, make sure your thumb is behind your neck, not the grabbing. Okay, sometimes you do, but a lot of times when you play fingerstyle guitar, this classical guitar position like this is ideal, because you can do more details, and you can just put your power instead of relying on muscle. Just more like naturally you can produce the sound nicely. Okay, so and then if you practice this way, you're gonna practice. But if you spend sometimes, you might feel, oh, it's not too bad, it doesn't hurt much. And if you make sure your fingers are always next to the fret line, then you don't have to press. And you might also think, oh, my guitar actually I feel like sounds better than it was with the lower action. So it's a balance, it's hard to say, and it changes depending on the weather. If it's humid, if it's dry, it changes. Very sensitive instrument. But you just have to spend some time and observe your guitar and feel how you feel, and that's my suggestion. So I hope you get some helpful information, and if you have any suggestions or questions, please let me know, and please subscribe my channel so you can look forward to the next one. Thank you for watching.